In this video, we are going to learn reading complex JSON files in Excel. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. This is a widely used format for sorting and transmitting structured data. It consists of nested objects, arrays, and key value pairs, making it complex to interpret and represent in a tabular format in Excel. While reading complex JSON files in Excel may pose challenges, there are various approaches and tools available to simplify the process. Excel built-in feature can extract and organize JSON data effectively, enabling further analysis and visualization within the Excel environment. Let's see how to use Power Query to transform the data. By utilizing Power Query capabilities, we can efficiently import, transform, and load JSON data into Excel, providing us with a structured and organized representation of original data. Transformed data then can be further analyzed, formatted, and used for other purposes in Excel. Let's see how to read a JSON file in Excel. Here I have a simple JSON code, which is a nested JSON code, which has the tables where the table is for employees with the ID 1 and ID 2 and the name, department, skill, address, city name and country to be the same for both the IDs. This is a simple example of a nested JSON code. This is in a JSON file. You can just simply Ctrl A, copy the whole code. Let me copy this. Double click somewhere here. If you just copy paste it like this is not the right way to copy. Double click on any cell and paste the output. Let me just make it little dark. Okay. So we have this output here. Let me wrap this text. Now I have the whole big code in one row. To transform this JSON code to table, go to Data, select Table Range, click OK. It just selects the first row because we have data only in our first row. Now let's say OK, and you see a small Power Editor window opening up. This is our Power Editor window where we have the whole set of code here. Go to Transform on our Power Query editor. Go to Parse. You see that this is for extracting rows and columns from JSON or XML formatted text. Parse, select this as JSON because this is a JSON code. Okay, we see that here it says records and column, and here we see this small icon here. Click on this. We have only one table, which is employees table. Click OK. Now in employees table we have list. Click on this option again and expand this to the new rows. The new row shows two records, which is ID 1 and ID 2. Let's expand this again. And we have all these data within ID 1 and ID 2. Okay. Here we have ID number, name, department, skills. Skills has list. Let's extract the values separated by a comma. So the skills are Java, Python and SQL. Now we have our another records where in the address field we had city, country and place name. So let's expand this as well. Street, city and country is the sub column that we have under address. Okay. Now we have street, city and country here for the employee 1 and 2. This is how we extract data into Excel using JSON code. Go to Home, close and load. Now we have our column which has first and second employee number, name and their department and all the details related to these two employees. This way, just by copy pasting the JSON code, we can convert the JSON code into our Excel readable table. Now let's use another example where we have to extract the file. Now let's import the JSON file and try to extract the data into table format. Here I have another example of nested JSON code. This code has the main column as quest, sub column as sport. Under sport we have question 1. Here we have a question and these are the 4 options for that question and this is the answer. Next is math. We have question 1, question, options and answer. We have another question under maths. Question 2, question, options, answer. Let's use Power Query to extract this into Excel tables. In previous example we copy pasted the code here, but now let's import the JSON file. To do that, go to data, get data from JSON file. I'm going to select example 2 as my next JSON source file and import. After I select the JSON file, I get the small Power Query editor window here. In our previous example, we had to go to transform and parse the data, but here as we have already selected the file from JSON, the data is already parsed and we don't have to do anything, just click on into table option. Now we have to expand the value as the way we did for the previous example. Expand the option. We see 2 columns here, one is for sport and another one is for maths. Click OK. Sports has a separate record and maths has separate record. Let's expand this as well. OK, because sport has only 1 question, math has 2 questions. Again expand the selection. Under sports and question 1 we had these 2 question, options and answer. Let's select all these 3 fields. So now we got for question 1 what was the first question and options are in the list form. Answer is Houston Rocket. Let's expand this list. We have 4 options to this question. When we expand, all the options will be in the new row. Let's select that. As we have 4 options, we see the question is also repeated 4 times and answer is also repeated 4 times. Let me cancel this or remove this. And here let me select the extract values with the comma separator. Okay. Now we see the options are separated with commas here. Let's go to our next record, which is maths question 1. Let me expand this now. When I click on expand, I see 3 options here again, question, options and answer. Click OK. We see that for maths question 1, which is question 1, we have the options here, which is in the form of list. Extract the values with the comma separator. Or semicolon, however you consider it as to be. Let me select comma. Okay. Here we have the value separated with 1, 10, 11, 12 or 13. These are the options provided for the output for 5 plus 7. And the answer is 12. We have another record for question 2. Let's expand this. Again we see that this has question, options and answer like the way it was before for the other one. Again in Q2 we have a question here and the options are mentioned in the list. Expand the list, extract values, separated by comma. Okay. We have these options with 1, 2, 3, 4 and this is the answer. Now the whole JSON code has now been extracted in table format. Let's close and load this. This is how Excel has extracted the table data from JSON code. Now that we can read the data in table format, we can make the necessary changes to this data. We can further transform this. Let me select this table, cut this data and paste it in the next row. We can make the necessary changes later, but now we have the data in the readable format. We can make the necessary changes to get the right information from the JSON code. Let's understand the highlights of this video. Power Query is the powerful tool which is used to transform JSON code into Excel table. Expand nested fields. Nested JSON code contains nested structure. We can expand them to flatten the data. The transformed data from JSON file will be displayed as table in Excel, reflecting the changes in transformation that we applied in Power Query.